okay? Any questions about today? Anybody think you were coming to a mimosa brunch? And no, you're not disappointed? Okay. All right, so the first thing that I'd like to talk about today is the breath. So the breath, and the reason I want to do this is the breath is like that thread that connects the whole practice together. And the breath is also one of the most misunderstood parts of this practice, particularly when we talk about pranayama deep breathing. When the instructor is leading pranayama deep breathing, we can look across a sea of people in a room and it can look like you totally understand pranayama breathing. And I can tell you from experience that I have led private one-on-one lessons with people who have been practicing this yoga for a very long time. And in a private lesson, we always start with pranayama breathing. And I watch them and listen to them breathe, and I'm just blown away because they are not breathing properly at all. At all. And they had no idea, and I had no idea. Because watching, you can't necessarily tell what's going on with somebody in pranayama breathing other than the physical part of moving the body. So, for the breathing exercise, pranayama breathing, you are breathing in by your nose, through your throat. Okay? That in and of itself is a super confusing thing, like what does that actually mean? So when you breathe in with just your nose, it will be like a very small amount of air that can enter into your body, right? So let's all do that. Just breathe in just through your nose. And you feel how the nostrils start to close off and the air just runs out. Can anyone breathe like that, just through your nose for 6 continuous seconds? No? Yeah, I can't either. It shuts off around 3 or 4, I'm out. And maybe if I slowed it down to like almost no air coming in, per second, then maybe I could make it last for 6 seconds. But I run out of air really, really fast. So we have to find another way for the breath to come in, and that is the throat. But how do we do that? Now, I don't know that I really have a scientific explanation for you of how we move the air through the throat. I can only tell you that for me, what helped me when I was learning how to do this was I started to visualize that literally there was a hole in my throat and I was pulling the air through that hole into my throat. So that helped me immensely. Is there anyone in the room who is questioning whether or not they are doing pranayama breathing correctly? Yes? Okay. So when you're doing pranayama breathing, what's the sensation? Do you feel like you're running out of breath, or?
I do it for the 6 seconds.
Okay.
I don't necessarily feel the scoring sensation in my throat.
Yeah.
So I tend to think I'm doing the best I can, but it's not.
Yeah. Okay, so how many of you think we're trying to make a noise in pranayama breathing? Yes, a few of you, or you're unsure. I don't know, should I be? Okay, so the answer to that question is you're not trying to make a sound. And you might make a sound, but you're not trying to make the sound. So I'll demonstrate this even though I'm really taking a bullet for you guys on this one because it hurts like hell every time I do it. But I want to demonstrate what it sounds like when you're using your vocal cords to try to make a sound, okay? And this is what I've practiced next to students who are making this sound. And I'm like, oh, because I just can't imagine doing that for 6 minutes of breathing. That's trying to make a sound. So it's literally using the vocal cords, which is not at all what we're trying to do. So you can let go of the idea that there needs to be a sound, but when there is a sound, the sound that you hear is like that Darth Vader breath or like a scuba diving kind of like that. That's really what it sounds like. So it's not a vocal cords, okay? All right, so to get the air into the back of the throat, we're gonna play a little bit so that you can feel what it feels like. Because when you're not breathing that way, like you're saying, you're running out of air. So here the teacher's still talking, elbows up, suck your stomach in, rib cage expansion should be visible, full lungs, and Sabra's going,
Just holding. Yeah.
you know, holding on, turning blue, and then it's like exhale, and she's like, right? And now we're exhaling with the mouth closed, and so it's really something, right? At least before we could kind of be like, right? Now the mouth is closed, so we're exhaling through the nose and throat too. And then you want the exhale to last for 6 seconds as well. And if you dump all your air very quickly on that, then again, you're back to like, when are they gonna say inhale? Or you're just kind of panting and faking like you're good, you're fine, and you're really just like, you know, panting the whole time that you're doing the pranayama breathing. So pranayama breathing, we're gonna practice how to get the air into the throat, but the purpose of using the breath like this in the beginning of the class is for the respiratory system. It's to help to warm your body up from the inside out. You're actually generating heat in the body with pranayama breathing. You're learning to breathe in and out for 6 seconds, which is going to improve your lungs elasticity, and it's going to increase your lungs capacity. You've heard a lot lately about the importance of being able to have good lung capacity, right? Super important. Well, you guys, no worries, because with this yoga practice, you absolutely are helping to improve your lungs health. So in pranayama breathing exercise, we're breathing in by the nose and through the throat, but we're not letting the belly open up, which is super interesting, because a lot of times when you hear people talk about deep breathing exercise, it's like, let your belly rise and then exhale, let the belly fall. That's not what we're doing in pranayama breathing. That breathing is not designed to be a relaxation breath. What I just described, belly rise and belly fall, that's a relaxation breath. What we're doing in pranayama breathing is we're energizing the body. We are trying to stretch the muscles of the rib cage. So what do we do right after we do pranayama breathing in Bikram yoga? What's the very next thing we do after pranayama breathing? Do you know? Huh? Half moon. Right. So in half moon pose, what are we stretching? Rib cage is stretching in this pose, right? So pranayama breathing, what's expanding? Rib cage. Yes, this series is really, really smart in that each of the things that we do sets our body up to do the next thing that we have on the list. So pranayama breathing, we're getting also the rib cage expansion happening, the muscle stretching, preparing our body for this practice. It's part of our warm-up. So that's the reason we suck our stomach in pranayama breathing, because when we suck our stomach in, the diaphragm comes up versus down. Comes up, which causes the air in the lungs to have to go this way versus this way. If we didn't suck our stomach in, the air would drop down and our lungs would go this way, which would cause the belly to rise up. We're sucking the stomach in, so that, there's no choice, the lungs have to go like that, expanding out. So when we say rib cage expansion visible in the mirror, that's what we mean, for you to be able to see the ribs going out this way, okay? All right, so let's practice for a second how to get the air in through the throat, and then I'll talk a little bit about the rate, the pace of the breath as you're breathing in for 6 seconds. Okay, so first of all, what I'd like for you to do is we're gonna open up the mouth, okay? And we're gonna hold our nose, so don't do it yet, because I don't want you to pass out. You're gonna hold your nose, and you're gonna pull the breath in through your open mouth and feel a sensation as that air moves across your throat. Okay, so I'll demonstrate it first. You're gonna have your nose plugged off, and you're gonna breathe in with your mouth open, like that. Okay, just try to pull breath in a nice even rate. You don't need to try to gulp the air. Okay, so ready? Plug your nose, open your mouth, and let it go. Okay, everyone breathe okay doing that? Everyone felt like you could breathe? Okay, do it again. Plug your nose, open your mouth. Okay, all right. This time, I want you to not plug your nose, but breathe the same way with your mouth open. Okay, ready? Don't plug your nose, just mouth open, go. Okay, everybody breathing fine? Yes? Okay, so now we're going to breathe in with the mouth open for 3 seconds, halfway through, close the mouth, but keep breathing in through the mouth. It's gonna be like this, ready? I know, super weird. I'm saying through the mouth because you have that now in your head about through the mouth, it's really through the throat, but it's gonna be like this. Okay? Okay, so here we go. Open your mouth. And exhale. Did anybody's breath just stop as soon as you closed the mouth? You were able to keep breathing? Yes? Do you feel it in the throat? Okay? So let's try that for the entire breath, no mouth open. We're just gonna breathe in by the nose and through the throat. So just think about how you just learned how to breathe with your mouth open and then closing it off. Think about how you did there. Don't really worry about the nose. You will notice air is moving in through the nostrils, but don't focus on the nose part of you. Focus on this part. Okay, ready? Go. And let it go. Anybody feel like they're struggling to get that? Can't breathe? It's good? Yeah? Everyone? Awesome. Is this new for anyone? Are any of you like, oh yeah, I've never done that before? All of you can do it? Did I just waste 10 minutes? No? Okay.